so a lot of brothers might say, oh, you, but I watch everybody. I done watched these brothers for years, and their authenticities and the struggle that they're going through. The healing that they're going through represents the healing that we're going to see in the community. And without being religious, I believe it's a power of truth. It's a power of God that's really changed our lives. There's no way you can bring about transformation that I've seen with you, Jeff Sanders, the Prince. No way you can bring about transformation unless you reach a point of those tears, where you reach that point of saying, man, we cannot no longer have the blind lead the blind. And leadership and stepping up in your faith and leaning in your power, that's a hard thing. It's not a hard thing to do, but it can be scary. And so even speaking meaningful truths as a brother to another brother, I've seen over the years, these brothers from Portland, they're geniuses as leaders. They know that there's a power moving them to get things done. And so that's one thing I think we're all trying to do in your business classes and T.A.G and Dream Big. We're all trying to make people believe in themselves, believe in their greatness, because we see what's going on within ourselves, what's going on in our nation. I don't watch TV, but I'm going to get a TV after this. I'm going to get a TV and start watching TV so I can be aware. Because brothers will say what's going on in our nation is happening within us. We're becoming more divided. We're becoming more decisive. You believe so? Yeah. And so
I do believe like it's a lot going on, man. But it's people like me and the Prince Hell and even you and Theron Hall. We trying to create a change. So we're gonna keep working at it. But we're going to wrapping this up. Okay. Man, I gotta get some love before we go, though, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you guys all. Thank you, the Prince. Thank you, Dwayne. And yeah, it's just let's bring about this.
This ain't the last you're gonna see of him. He'll be back.
Our inspirational theme tonight is appreciation and mentorship. In this speech called Believable Change, I want you to journey with me in seeing what mentorship and leadership looks like and sounds like. In our times, we have heard the saying, change we can believe in. We also heard the saying by JFK that said, don't ask what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Great leaders in America have always rose up to speak to the soul of our nation. And speaking to the soul of our nation, they made us proud to be Americans. They also are signs to how we should be speaking meaningful truths to each other. The soul of our organization is the spirit of collective leadership. I'm proud to be a member of the club because they are showing us change we can believe. Under the leadership of Theron Hall and others, we have made great progress. We have learned to trust each other. We have learned to build together. We have learned to not yield to the darker impulses of our soul. Each one of these leaders are appreciated, not only because of what they've done, but because they help us experience what Martin Luther King said years ago. We are tied into a single garment of destiny. Now we're at this point of our lives that we can see how what we do within this prison is connected to changing this OSP community. The Bible says a little leaven leavens a whole lump. For example, if you put a cup of red dye in water, the whole cup will turn red. That is the same principle that we're seeing at OSP with leadership and mentorship. The change that you do, the good that you do can change lives. The love and truth you have to offer each other can transform each other into credible messengers of restorative justice, criminal justice reform, and last but far from least, leadership across the board. For the longest time, I misunderstood what leadership was. I promised myself I would do my time like Reuben Hurricane Carter and Malcolm X. But one thing I learned is that you cannot do it alone. I thought if I lead by example, others will follow. Then I discovered a great truth, that in the house of fools, the wise man is the weirdo. I also discovered that in our culture, people are afraid to be who they are. People are afraid to be their true self. The mask we wear in different situations and occasions weakens our brand of being powerful leaders in our environment. In Toastmasters, we learn to appreciate each other. We learn to build together. We learn to bring change that we can believe in. So I learned so much from you all, and I thank you all, because you helped me realize a great concept: leaders eat last. In a book by Simon Sinek called Leaders Eat Last, he says if you see Marines go in the chow hall to eat, the junior members eat before the senior members. He said this is how Marines naturally develop leaders. Great leaders care about those that they lead. Great leaders make sacrifices. And great leaders are the ones that put the interests of the group before the self-interest. This is what we're seeing in every club. With the Prince, with Dwayne and Clinton, with brothers that are apart, their lives are changing. We're seeing change we can believe in. We're seeing leadership qualities that need to be recorded. So how I plan to manage change within the club is to have a hand of a ready writer. I plan to write down the characteristics of leadership that we're seeing inside of the club, outside of the club, that both might be good and bad. But we got to look at it. What's really good and bad? What do we need to do to become better human beings? Define ourselves as men and women on our own terms. So instead of asking for the perks and privileges we can receive from the club, I hope we begin to look at the powerful love and truth that we have to offer each other. There's truth within us all. There's greatness within us all. We are all dreamers of a greater day to come, and as Booker T. Washington says, we can be divided as 5 fingers of a hand, but united as a fist in common purpose. We can be divided by race, class, creed, whatever, but united in the service of doing good. Be proud to be living for a cause greater than yourself. We live in great times. We see great leaders, men and women. And so now that we've seen what leadership looks like, mentorship looks like, I would like to introduce you to what it sounds like. It sounds like the words of Kamala Harris when she said, we have a task before us. The stakes are high. Do we retreat or do we fight? I intend to fight. Our fight begins with speaking the truth. We have to bring our community, our nation together. As we go into a new year, I want you to think about the truths you have to offer those who are in need of your love, your guidance, and your enlightenment. Visualize your fight for freedom, success, and future happiness. Think of your loved ones and their need for you to be a mentor to their mind and a friend to their soul. Life is short. And it's important to realize you are born for greatness. There's greatness within you all. There's greatness within each of us. And we'll realize that greatness as long as we continue to speak meaningful truths to each other. Let us respect a new chain of command of leadership we are seeing in every club, in the Latino club, in the Hua Salsa club, in every club, Lifers Club, and build a community that is strong. I appreciate you all. We are brought here for a special purpose. That special purpose is called a believable and achievable change. Let us each one reach one, teach one. This speech is finished, but our cultural revolution of listen to the better angels of our nature will last forever. Let us reveal the symbol of what that cultural revolutionary is. Let's get to work. Thank you.